we are as a people inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, opposed to secret oaths, opposed to secret proceedings. No official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know.
All right. Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast, everyone. This is Abe, your host. It is March 14th, 2026. I put one out this morning. Got up a little early before the alarm clock went off, so I figured I'd put out another episode. As far as update, not really much has been going on. Just been reading Dragon Ball Super. Work. That's about it. Got to work again tonight, you know. So, today, we're taking a little break from the Epstein shit. And I had done an episode a little while ago on alien disclosure. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is play or make a playlist for the alien disclosure stuff. Because I'm sure, like the Epstein files, probably not as much because I'm going to focus more on the Epstein shit. Because in that episode that I just brought up, the one and only episode that I had done so far on the alien disclosure shit, I had mentioned that I believe this whole alien disclosure thing is a distraction. I'm going to be quite honest. Trust me, I would love to sit here. I wish that the Epstein files didn't exist. I really do. And by saying that, what I mean is I wish that all that evil darkness, as far as like pedophilia, cannibalism, trafficking, I wish that all that shit never happened. Obviously, it breaks my heart in two. And I wish that, honestly, that I could do more Art Bell, old school. I wish, honestly, that I could be doing more paranormal, more cryptozoology, more ufology. But sadly, we live in a dark fucking world, and I have to cover more important issues than the fun ones. But that being said, there's a story that was really interesting and really weird and really suspicious, and it's connected with the disclosure stuff. And that's the only reason I'm reporting on this, really, because like I said, I believe that this is a distraction. But this story, I'm like, no, I'm going to report on this because this is weird, which we're going to get into. I'm going to plug my stuff real quick. I have a Buy Me a Coffee account set up in the link below. If you donate to it, I will send you a sticker, because I'm not going to sit here and just ask for money and you get nothing in return. So get a little sticker. You can put it on your bumper. You can put it on your computer. You can put it on my wife's got hers on a coffee cup. And surprisingly, this is actually like decently waterproof. Because I've washed her coffee cup like a bunch of times and hasn't damaged it. So you get a sticker. There's only 3 left. When those run out, I will be making either a bookmark or a trading card. I got to figure out the trading card thing. So let's get on with the story. It's going to be kind of an alien episode, a little break from the Epstein stuff. And this ties in with the alien disclosure stuff, the files that were released, the alien files. Everything's files right now. Alien files, Epstein files. And honestly, I do have to say, before we get started, which I don't really keep up with the alien stuff like I used to. You guys remember, well, maybe some of you remember, I don't know, depends on how long of a listener you are. When I first started this channel back in like, shit, it was like 10 or 11 years ago, so probably around 2016, I think I started this channel as a book review channel, and I would just sit here and do small short videos talking about conspiracies. I was really big into ancient astronaut theory. I was really big into ufology. I was like a big consumer of like Third Phase of Moon, Secure Team 10. I stopped watching both of those channels because Third Phase of Moon got caught faking stuff. Secure Team 10, he got caught doing a fake interview with himself using a voice changer. He got caught like being an alcoholic, beating his wife and shit. And I was like, okay, nah, like I'm done with the whole alien shit, you know, as far as those two content creators. And if you want to know more about that, I did a podcast episode called the Secure Team 10 Saga. Go check that episode out. I might link it below if you're listening on Spotify. Yeah, it was just a whole mess, and I'm like, I'm done with this shit. But yeah, I used to be more big into the alien shit. I'm kind of not now. I'm not a flat earther. I'm not a round earther. I'm a geocentrist. I don't believe in the moon landings. Yeah, and the whole alien thing, I think it's more of a psyop than anything. I think a lot of it's military craft, experimental craft. I don't think they're fallen angels, but I do think that aliens are more like interdimensional beings. Possibly us from the future time traveling. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I have all sorts of ideas. But anyways, let's get on with it. FBI involved in search for retired Air Force Major General missing for nearly 2 weeks. So this general's missing. Bernalillo County, New Mexico, a high-ranking retired U.S. Air Force Major General who once commanded a base long associated with UFO lore, has been missing for nearly 2 weeks. So we're already getting into like spooky ufology shit. And authorities are appealing to the public for help finding him, according to Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office in New Mexico. Retired Air Force Major General William Neil McCaslin, so he's Irish, 68, left his Albuquerque home on foot at approximately 11 a.m. So he left on foot. I can't help but automatically just wonder, did the Men in Black get him? You know? And if you don't know, the Men in Black are essentially kind of like, the theory is that they're like alien hybrid or like robots. They're like this strange group of people who wear all black suits, drive old black cars, and they will interrogate people who have seen UFO, had extraterrestrial contact, interrogate them and or kidnap them. Like, they're a creepy group of people. I've actually done 1 or 2 episodes on the Men in Black, so go check those episodes out. If you're listening on Spotify, I'll try to link them down below. John A. Keel did a lot of work covering the Men in Black. But yeah, leaving on foot, that right there makes me a little nervous. February 27th. So yeah, not too long ago. And has not been in contact with family or friends since. So he just left on foot and just disappeared, vanished. The sheriff's office said in a news release, his cell phone was left behind, which is weird. I do it every now and then. I mean, there are like those some people, and if this guy was older, he was 68, I actually leave the house sometimes without my phone. Just because I'm a 90s kid, and I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with my phone, I don't want to hear from anyone. I just want either the car radio or just silence, you know. If you're not like an older person, You probably don't get it if you're a younger listener. Like, as a 90s kid, like, I kind of like it sometimes, like, leaving my phone. I will purposely leave it behind. Just because I kind of miss the 90s of, like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to the world. I want to go down to the corner store and not deal with, So it's odd, but it's not odd for this case, The sheriff's, okay, so the sheriff's office issued a silver alert, which, if you don't know what that is, that's when, think silver hair. It's when, like, an older person goes missing. You got, like, amber alert for kids, silver alert for, like, an older person, of, like, hey, keep an eye out for, like, an older person. Usually it's, like, they're senile. Some of them escape, like nursing homes and stuff, So they issued a silver alert the next day. So that right there is a little shady. Like, why the next day? Because it was 11 a.m. that he left the house and went missing. They should have issued that alert at least by, like, 1 a.m. or whatever. 1 p.m. Like, I don't know. That to me is just weird. So your husband leaves the house on foot, no cell phone, at 11 a.m. if he was married. And there's not a silver alert until the very next day. Like, that right there is a little shady. Or it could just be incompetence on the police department's behalf, Do you guys think that's weird? I mean, hit me up in the comments. Or am I just over exaggerating? But I think that's strange. On February 27th, and has not been in contact with family or friends since. The sheriff's office said in a news release his cell phone was left behind. So, which remains in effect. The silver alert is still in effect. McCaslin has an unspecified medical issue that has been added. That has added urgency to the search, authorities said. So obviously they're not going to release it because it's medical information. Which, isn't it crazy how, like, during COVID, like, nobody gave a fuck about that? Everyone's like, did you get vaccinated? Did you get vaccinated? Like, that's my medical information. Like, fuck you. That's none of your fucking business. You're not my employer. You're not my doctor. You're just some random person asking me my medical information. Like, fuck you. That'd be like me going up to a girl and being like, are you on your period today? How's your periods going? You'd be like, get the fuck away from me, you fucking creep. COVID, it was okay. But now we're back to normal again of, like, not the new normal, but we're back to normal of, like, let's keep our medical information secret. But during the COVID time, no, those rules don't apply anymore. It's a pandemic. Authorities have conducted extensive neighborhood canvassing, interviews, and coordinated search operations in effort to find him. Contacting more than 600 homeowners in the neighborhood, the sheriff's office said. McCaslin is 5'11", so he's decently tall. I'm 5'6", with white hair and blue eyes, according to the sheriff's office. He is an avid outdoorsman who hikes, runs, and cycles in Albuquerque's Northeast Heights neighborhood in Sandia Mountains foothills. So, he's not some, like, senile, feeble old man. This dude is an outdoorsman who hikes, runs, and cycles. So, that just makes it even more suspicious. Hang on just a second. Let me pause this for a second. Had to get a heartburn pill. So that just makes it even more shady, in my opinion, because it sounds like this dude is, like, physically fit, outdoorsman, hikes, runs, all that jazz. So, I mean, if it was Men in Black, like, he probably put up a fight, And he was old Air Force, so he's in shape for 68, He could probably kick my ass. Due to his background and established partnerships, BCSO is coordinating closely with multiple agencies. I have no idea what BCSO is. If you know, hit me up in the comments. Including the FBI Albuquerque Field Office and Kirtland Air Force Base. The sheriff office said the FBI has confirmed its involvement. So, they ain't gonna do shit. The FBI. I am so disappointed. I've always been kind of disappointed with the FBI since like the JFK assassination. I've never really trusted and or liked the FBI or the CIA. Any three-letter agency I really don't like for the most part. And we all know how the FBI is with these files. They ain't gonna do shit. I mean, look how Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, and Dan Bongino handled the files. You think they're gonna give a fuck about this old retired Air Force guy? They're probably the ones who helped make him disappear, you know? Of like whether he knew too much or I don't know. It's connected with the alien files. I know that. I haven't put the pieces together yet. Maybe we'll hear more in the future with this case. Maybe, honestly, dude, I'm not trying to be dark, but like I'm not sure the whole backstory with this guy and with the alien files, but like it might be one of those oh, we found him in the woods. He committed suicide. He hung himself and shot himself in the back of the head 3 times. You know? You know how that goes. McCaslin held some of the most sensitive positions in the U.S. military, according to the Air Force. An astronautical engineer with degrees from U.S. Air Force Academy, the Massachusetts Institution of Technology, and the JFK School of Government at Harvard University. He held a series of high-level posts during his career. So this dude was high up there. He served as chief engineer of the Department of Defense Global Positioning System Program, system program director of the Space-Based Laser Project Office. So, Space-Based Laser Project Office. So, I may be wrong, but that sounds like this dude was like planning on making lasers on a space base, like whether the moon or a satellite. Like that sounds insane, almost like Star Wars type shit. And director of special programs at the Pentagon. He also commanded the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. If you guys know anything or have been in the ufology community long enough, you guys know Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is like, yeah, that's like a hot spot in the ufology community. It says it's a base long rumored to house extraterrestrial debris linked to Roswell, despite Air Force denials. There is a whole little side thing. Art Bell, his death was really mysterious. We'll have to do a whole episode on Art Bell. I have a theory, and it ties in with To the Stars Academy. So Art Bell got this strange material. He said it was like tinfoil. And supposedly it was from like Roswell or like some form of fallen UFO. And he said when you crush it, it retracts and goes flat again. But it's like tinfoil, super thin. And Art Bell, I love him to death, but he was bragging about this on air that he had this. And then he mysteriously dies. And the lead singer from Blink-182, Tom DeLonge, not too long after, joins To the Stars Academy and starts talking about, and To the Stars Academy is tied in with like John Podesta, which we all know about him. Call me daddy, you know. That's some dark footage. He's tied in with the WikiLeaks, Pizzagate shit. Anyways, John Podesta, he's tied in with the To the Stars Academy. He's a scumbag. And Tom DeLonge starts talking about how he's seen this. He found, when he was working with them, they let him see a piece of a UFO that when you crunch it up, it retracts. And I'm like, how much you want to bet that's the same fucking thing that Art Bell had from a listener who gave it to him? And they killed Art Bell and took it from him. How much you want to fucking bet? This is all me saying it. This is all alleged. But that was one of the rabbit holes that I was going down right after Art Bell's death years ago. And I was putting the pieces together. And I'm like, I bet you Podesta and To the Stars Academy allegedly killed Art Bell, man. And took his shit. Following his retirement, McCasley briefly worked with Blink. Synchronicities, dude. I haven't read this article yet because I always try to go in with virgin eyes. That is so fucking weird. I'm getting goosebumps. I literally was just talking about Tom DeLonge, and it's the next fucking sentence. That is insane. Sorry. Following his retirement, McCasley briefly worked with Blink-182's musician Tom DeLonge, which, by the way, dude, I do not trust Tom DeLonge. I don't think he's either good or bad. I think he's a useless idiot that the government and all these like CIA and all these three-letter agencies, the government, To the Stars Academy, I think he's a useless idiot who probably means well, but they're just using him as a mouthpiece. And I mean that, like, that's my opinion. I don't think he's a good guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's really into UFOs and he's rich and famous and they're using him as like a mouthpiece and of like, hey, look how cool we are, you know? Let's all get into aliens. He's into aliens. He's a really cool, hip guy, you know? A co-founder to the Stars Academy Incorporated, a company that says it studies information about unidentified aerial phenomenon. UFO. I'm calling it UFO. I don't care if they renamed it to UAP. I'm still calling it UFO, his wife said. So, CNN has reached out to the Air Force and McCaslin's family for comment. His disappearance came just days after President Donald Trump announced in a Truth Social post he was directing the Pentagon and other federal agencies to release government records related to extraterrestrial life and UFOs, which he conveniently did, so we would all be distracted with aliens and not talk about the Epstein files, in my opinion, and many others. It's not just me who thinks that, it's a lot of people. I hope and pray this is not one of those cases where former senior military officer was specifically targeted and that he will be found happy and healthy in the immediate near term for his sake and for the sake of his loved ones, says Luis Elizondo. If you don't know who Luis Elizondo is, he's CIA. He's even admitted it and said it. He's either ex-CIA or he's CIA in general and just doesn't give a fuck and admits it. But you all know my opinion. I don't believe in such thing as ex-CIA. I think once CIA, always CIA. Always CIA. That's just my opinion. I don't like Luis Elizondo. I heard like one interview, and once he started saying his credentials, I was like, oh, so you're a Fed. You're a spook. Like, no. You're sketchy as fuck, dude. A former DOD intelligence officer, okay, so Department of Defense, sorry, who now advocates for the release of classified information about UFOs. Whether or not his disappearance has anything to do with any legacy involvement he may have had in UFO research, I prefer to allow law enforcement the necessary time to do their work for speculating, he added. Is it true that Neil had a brief association with the UFO community? McCaslin's wife, Susan McCaslin Wickerson, said in a Facebook post. This connection is not a reason for someone to abduct Neil. Neil does not have any special knowledge about extraterrestrial bodies and debris from Roswell crash stored at Wright Pat. How do you know? They take like an oath, and I guarantee you, like, a lot of these agents and high-ups and shit, you know they're not telling their wife everything. They're keeping it simple. Their wife is probably like, how was work? And they're just like, oh, it's good. And they probably tell them the little shit, but you know most of these motherfuckers are taking that vow seriously and taking that top secret info seriously of like, if I tell you, I gotta kill you. I mean, especially nowadays, like, dude, I got a smart TV right here that is probably filming and recording me. I got a phone, which is obviously recording me. There's a smart TV in there that's probably recording. There's a camera in there. We're being recorded audio and visually every day, all day. Not to mention how many fucking microphones they probably put and just any random shit like fucking clocks and whatever, dude. And that made people be like, "Oh, you're paranoid." Okay, think I'm paranoid. I don't fucking care, man. So you know these motherfuckers ain't going home and sharing all the info to their wives and kids and shit. Like, it's just the truth. A silver alert is an emergency notification pushed out statewide, similar to an amber alert, but for missing persons over the age of 50 who display a deterioration of intellectual faculties. Okay, so I didn't know that. So the silver alert is for someone who is slowly deteriorating in the mind, whether that be dementia, Alzheimer's, sundowning. So Joe Biden, you know, if he just went missing, they'd put out a silver alert. I wonder if they have like an alert though for like someone who is younger. Not amber, but like someone who is younger but is like deteriorating in the mind. Like, let's say they have schizophrenia, or maybe we're just a really bad drug user and like super burnt out, like Ozzy Osbourne level burnt out. Like, do they have a special alert for younger deteriorating minds who are missing? Hit me up in the comments below if you know. I don't know. I don't know what it would be called. I might have to Google it just out of curiosity for shits and giggles. According to the New Mexico Department of Public Safety. But Wilkerson said her husband does not have dementia. Okay, so I was wrong. He was not confused and disoriented, she said. So he's clear-headed, which makes this even more mysterious. McCaslin retired nearly 13 years ago, and Wilkerson said it seems quite unlikely that he has taken to extract very dated secrets from him. Wilkerson. So I guess that's someone in the law enforcement says that it's unlikely that he would be kidnapped for secrets. I don't know, dude. When I listed off all those credentials and that he worked at Wright-Patterson, I don't know. I disagree with that. He's got to know something. The dude was building space lasers. Wilkerson thanked the community and authorities for their support, noting the dozens of searchers on foot, both official and friends and neighbors of Neil's, horseback searchers, drones with different capabilities, helicopters, 3 different types of search dogs, neighborhood canvassing, and looking for ring or wildlife videos. So, dude, this dude just vanished. Did you hear all that I just listed? Horseback, drones, helicopters, search dogs, friends, family, search units. Like, this dude just fucking vanished like the Rapture, man. That's crazy. You know, I'm sure there's really far end ufology people who are going to be like, he got abducted. Maybe. The sheriff's office said it has so far uncovered no evidence of foul play, but is still considering all the possible scenarios. I smell foul play. The dude just vanished. Investigators have asked those in the area to contact them if they had any information. Footage and other files can be sent to the sheriff's office through a dedicated web page. Maybe the best hypothesis is that aliens beamed him up to the mothership, Wilkerson said in her post. However, no sightings of a mothership hovering above the Sandia Mountains have been reported. So they added a little humor in there. I'm sure the wife loves that. So what do you guys think, man? This dude, they just released the disclosure files. And then this dude connected with the files. Super high ranking. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Just goes missing. I don't know. it's intriguing. It's interesting. Could be a distraction from the Epstein files. Who knows? But I like to report on weird shit. Thanks for tuning in to Conspiracy Corner. Please like, share, and subscribe. YouTube has a hype button. I like to save my hype points for smaller content creators like myself. Some people just waste them on big ones, which is kind of unfair because it's like, dude, they're already up there in the algorithm. What it does is it helps push you up the algorithm. If you like what I do and you got some hype points, give me a hype on YouTube. Fill out the poll, and because I do a poll every episode on Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, answer the question. It helps give, it's engagement, you know. That's about it. Y'all have a good day.